Yeah, yeah. With a dispenser you can set on top of the desk for sure. Just have it poured like straight to I don't even need a dispenser. Not even for like a drink. You know what I can do? I can just like have a line that runs from it, and all I have to do is just like it's like a tube. I just like put it in my mouth. You know, fucking big sipping. How you doing? How you doing? Man, fuck, I was so tired yesterday. I was so tired yesterday that I think I'm still tired today. But you know, I'm in a better state for the hose. Yeah, hose exactly. Just fucking hose me down. Um, but yeah. The weather has maintained. It's gotten hotter, but it's maintained. It's pretty decent, you know, temperature wise. Like especially in the evenings, which helps. But yeah, we got a couple hot ones up ahead, and then thankfully, I think after I think August is typically when we'll start to see the temperatures come down a bit, right? The highs will be, you know, closer to like the 80s rather than the 90s and 100s. So, and once it gets to that point, that we're living you know, living luxuriously. But yeah, yeah. So, just a couple weeks still, I would say. A couple of weeks left, just of a little bit of hot temps. But once all that's cleared up, man, we are in the money. What's up? What's up? Weeks of torture, indeed, indeed, indeed. So hi here, yeah, Jesus Christ. There you go, dude. Hi here, hi milk. Um, but yeah, yeah. Nah, not weeks of torture though. Thankfully, nothing too wild. But it'll be the usual, you know, the usual. Was that my impression of you? No, 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 no. My milk impression is much better. I'll just save it. I'll just save it till the opportune moment. Yeah. When you least expect it. Instead, yeah. But yeah, it's been nice. So I think we got a couple. It throwing a few thousand ums. Yeah. But yeah, I think we have a. We'll go over I guess a couple of the we'll go over the recent in the meantime suggestions, and then probably go from there with just kind of hanging out and shit. So yeah, let me kick some music on. How's everything there though? You know, how's life in the city of brotherly love? Yo, what up, Echo Train? How you doing? How you doing? Still have a couple to type up. I'm good. I'm good. Good shit. Good to hear. Good to hear. A lovely 80. Damn. It's just there now, and it's 9 p.m. So, how you feeling? How you feeling? But let's see. Nice, yeah, nice, decent temperature day. Yeah. Oh, didn't you say, Milk? You have an Eagles like pro shop like right next to where you work? Must be wild, huh? The New Jersey releases. I'm sure it is quite packed. Potentially, I don't know. Maybe has it been packed or what? I assume because the announcement of the Kelly Green jersey. Fuck, man. It looks so good, dude. Yeah, I'll slurp. I'll slurp, dude. I'm gonna get like real close to the fucking to the mic next time I do it. A lot of work tonight too, so it might be. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, cause it released, and I mean, I know a lot of places. I've seen a lot of places that have been fucking like absolutely wild with the number of people and shit. So I was wondering. Ah, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. They the greatest football team in America released New Jersey. So yeah, it'll likely be busy. I've seen a lot of pictures of like pro shops and stuff like just absolutely flooded because of the new release, but who knows. All right, let us get some music going, chilling out. We'll go through these recent, yeah, yeah, the New Jerseys, yeah, like we'd actually have a football team, dude. It's New Jersey has two football teams. They got the Jets and the and the Giants. They play in Jersey. No shit. Your cousin actually got drafted for the Eagles? No fucking way. Really? Wow. Damn. Dude, you got a legend. Turned it down? What the fuck? How do you turn it down? Went to another school. Like what? Sports are dangerous. No shit. Jesus. Uncle Tibby saw a different line of work for himself. Cousin. It's Cousin Tibby. Alright. Let's get some music going. And then let's jump into these recent additions. And then after that, we shall go over this topic, which is what we'll get into later. So, all right. So we'll go back up here. We'll hit it with a little soothsayer. Okay. Whoops. Boom. Okay. And then I mean, they really love doing this. All right. And then next up after this is, I'm just going to get it all done in one, and then we can read it over. So, the partisans of the soothsayer. All right. And boom. Do this. Oh man. Okay. All right, we're good. All right. So, the soothsayer. The soothsayer. Let me take a sip of water before we do it. A mysterious statue created under even more mysterious circumstances. The location of the soothsayer is a closely guarded secret. The statue is rumored to be hidden deep within the mountains of Karth and protected by a clan of fetchlings who reside in the dark caves of the mountains. The group is said to have been protecting the statue for a millennia, which may or may not be true. The statue is said to lay deep within a temple built into the caverns, enclosed pathways carved into the walls as the stone stairs of the path spiral deep downwards into the earth. The pathways are completely devoid of light. However, there is bioluminescent moss that coats the stone steps that flashes a pale blue light as it is stepped on. At the base of the path lays a fountain with water as clear as glass. The tiles of the fountain are made with a beautiful blue tile that speckles like the stars against any light that shines on it, as the entire bottom floor is made of the fountain. As the entire bottom floor is made of the fountain. Stepping stones lead from the base of the stairs up to the altar where the soothsayer stands in all its glory. A statue made of what appears to be some sort of white-colored stone. The soothsayer appears to be in the shape of what can be assumed by its devout followers to be a fetchling. Stands tall with palm hands up. Above each hand hovers large chunks of faintly glowing moonstone carved into a waxing moon in the statue's left palm and a waning moon in the right. It can be assumed they represent the 2 moons of Ekros. Have you seen pictures of the initiation well? That was the vibe I was going for, how the path looks. Okay, I'll take a look. Initiation well. Oh, at Sintra. Yeah. Fun fact. We almost went to this place, me and my wife, when we visited Portugal. But unfortunately it was like a really fucked up day or something. It was like weather was really bad or something. We never made it out that way. Alright. So the left, so the waxing and the waning moon on the right, representing the 2 moons of Ekros. The most striking feature of the statue, however, are its eyes. Pure white, the moonstone eyes exhibit an asterism that reflects the shape of a star when light is shown on them. It is said that the soothsayer is able to show one's predictions of their own past and future. If when presented to the statue one is touching the waning moon, they are able to see the details of their past. And if they touch the waxing moon, they will see their future. Very cool. Touching the statue comes with various hazards, of course, if one is even able to get to the statue. The predictions cannot be controlled, and so painful memories or horrors of the future can be visions presented to each person who braves touching the statue. One's fate cannot be changed, so it would be advised for one to proceed with caution should they choose to touch the moons. Using the soothsayer's power for evil will be frowned upon, but it can be easily assumed that thus was the case in the past, and why it is so viciously guarded. Very cool. Touch those big round, you know? Okay. The partisans of the soothsayer, Jesus Christ. The partisans of the soothsayer is a group of fetchlings who reside in the caverns belonging to the statue. The exact number of partisans that exist is unknown, as their contact to the outside world is non-existent. The partisans live solitary lives within the caves, as their entire purpose is to protect the soothsayer. They never leave the caves, and they strive to murder any unfortunate soul who wanders into the caves, whether searching for the statue or just happening upon the entrance to its temple. Hiding deep underground, the partisans patrol the labyrinthine halls of the caves and rarely venture down to the soothsayer themselves. Their steps are deathly quiet, and they seem to move in the pitch-black darkness with an ease unknown to those who live above the depths. Nice. Let's see. If one were to able to get a good look at the partisans before they were able to dispose of them, they would see pale gray to white beings with hair colors in the same range. It appears as if they lost the almost entire pigment to their skin, and some of them appear to even harbor skin that may be transparent. Their eyes are always pure white regardless of the individual, and they never seem to be able to focus their sight on anything. It can be assumed that they've evolved to be completely blind, relying solely on the other senses to help them find their way in the dark. So they're like naked mole rats, you know? The clothing the partisans wear consists of armor created from the hard-skinned creatures that burrow through the caves, that they are also rumored to consume as their main source of food. Their weapons are carved from stone or altered from the Jesus, I hope they're all veiny. Jesus, what a terrible mental image. Their weapons are carved from stone or are altered from the bones and mandibles of their prey as well. They are rumored to be incredibly unforgiving when fought, and as any sounds draw them in, they are very rarely fought in one-on-one fights, preferring to destroy trespassers in groups of at least 4 or 5. The language the partisans use is incredibly outdated due to their lack of communication with the outside world, so much so that any modern speaker would have great difficulty understanding them. Perfect. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Very cool. All right. I like it. I like the soothsayer, the random, well, not random, but Zephyr Light Breeze with a Z. All right. Yeah, I like the nature of the statue. For sure. Yeah. If someone looks to see the future, hey, guess what? You're getting railroaded. I'm just kidding. You know. It's never wrong, I told you. What up, dude? How you doing, Ram? So. Alright, let me get this copy and pasted, and then we are good to go on to the next one. So. Alright. Of course, is there... Nope, everything's good. Alright. And ding, there we go. Got a content warning. Yeah. Yeah, back with cute surnames. Yeah, veiny rats and round balls. Yeah, it's a waxing and waning moon. It's the moon, dude. You know. But yeah, the content warning, like, you have to do it now. Apparently, it's like a whole new Twitch thing, which is fucking annoying. But whatever. Like, if I'm cussing, right? It's good to say, like, hey, don't worry about it, because, you know, because we cuss here. So annoying rat bastards. Okay. So I don't know how to say this first name. Don is gonna have to chime in a little bit here. Zeth? We do, yeah, we fucking do fucking cuss up. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That will most likely not live long. Yeah. You fucked up putting them in the one place that's really messed up too. Zeph. Okay, Zeph Light Breeze. So, coming from humble origins in Vergon, whom became a rather influential merchant during his time, infamous or famous, depending on who you ask. Their early days were much like those around him. Coming from the city, it was expected to work hard, serve the nobility with loyalty. Yeah, hello, my name is Zeph. Yeah. Serve the nobility with loyalty, and one would find themselves rewarded eventually. When coming of age and having saved enough for his own ship, they chose a different path, not serving the port or country they came from. I'd be curious to know what kind of ship, right? Because saving up, like, it makes you think. Would somebody of humble origins be ever have enough to make, have enough to buy their own ship when they're coming of age? So, choosing to make questionable, the Zeppelin, oh shit, dude. Choosing to make questionable deals with other city-states, transporting and trading goods that could be considered immoral, including that of poor refugees who would knowingly be sent to a much gloomier place and work. Slowly building his business using information gained through various means to get the best deals and expanding his fleet. His assets. Okay. His assets always had to be on the move. It turned out to be a risky gamble that paid off in the end, losing many ships in storms in which other merchants dare not venture. Losing men and ships of his own, however, the rewards more than making up for it. Yeah. His only thought. Yeah. In the end, he built quite the reputation as a fair man to those who knew him, albeit with a forward momentum attitude. All under his command were compensated generously, making him popular under the common folk, who were often discarded as tools for the nobility. With threats on his life in the town he grew up, his current whereabouts are somewhat vague. Some saying he was assassinated, while some sailors swear stories of his small fleet, still engaging in his old business traditions. The one thing that remains of him in Vergon is his work ethic and idea, immortalized amongst the warehouse districts on a worn plaque stating, "The harbor might be a safe place for the ship. This, however, was never meant what they were built for. And wealth owned by knowledgeable and organized merchants will always surpass that of the mere static wealth rulers." Nice. Good shit, good shit. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, the Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Cheers. Nice. Yeah, so like a at the harbor might be a safe place for the ship. This, however, was never meant what they were built for. Yeah, I'm curious. What like they were, yeah. Dangerous harbors? Yeah, maybe. Built around whirlpools. Yeah, only dawn can illuminate, on the quote. Picturesque tourist trap. Yeah. Show up the wealth and all. Oh, okay. So like, pleasure barges can stay stationary. Yeah. There's a stupid joke there, but I don't want to stoop so low. But yeah, I get it. Okay, yeah. So like, the harbor was made, and clearly it is a safe place for the ship. But yeah, you prefer them this way a little bit. Yeah, but they only built the harbor and the ships to be able to, like, you know, to show off the wealth, especially. Okay, nice. Alrighty. Give you an iconic Ekros monster or beast from yore. An iconic, not the Glutodon, a real one. Dude. Iconic Ekros monster. I think. Trying to think. I'm the real monster. Some kind of creature. Could be a good monster. A houseboat. A houseboat. I don't know, like maybe like you know what I really like that I haven't done anything? Is the hermit buffaloes. Those are something that I haven't introduced, but I like the hermit buffaloes. A species of bovine that roam open plains in arid and temporary climates. This is an exclusively herd creature. Animals separated from the herd do not last long as they lose their protection through grown and degradation. Yeah, temperate. I love how the wiki entry has misspellings from from Chris. Oh shit, dude, the typos follow. Oh man. Dude, you did make the typo. I only copy and pasted these. Oh shit. We need the stickers. Oh yeah, I'll add the stickers. I got the stickers. I got the files. I can add them. The hermit buffalo is a shy creature but naturally cooperative in his family herd. Lacking a thick hide, the herd builds a coat around the individuals in a cooperative manner. Small herds may be only able to manage coats that resemble untidy haystacks or compost heaps. Larger herds through construct coverings that look like simple tribal huts, perhaps with some instinctive insight that people are a danger that the buffalo predators may avoid. The hermit buffalo moves at night and is extremely stealthy for a creature of its size. It is not unknown for small party adventurers who lapsed and watched discipline to wake up in a large village that was not there the previous evening. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. You might then spell them all correctly. Like one word at a time. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the last one. What would they call this? Like, I guess like Dukan naval rankings, promotion, and lifestyle. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna skip the first part to copy and paste. I'm gonna copy and paste from key positions down. All right. Okay. Okay. So. All right. Gonna need some Chris naval insight. So let's see. Dukan naval rankings, promotion, and lifestyle. So key position rankings on a semi-standard ship. You have the captain or commander that runs the ship. Lieutenants. I've kind of amalgamated master at arms into positions duties lieutenants would hold. Okay. Boatswain, bosun. Responsible for the rigging, cordage, anchors, sails, boats, flags, etc. Surgeon, the doctor, very important. Carpenter, one of the most important jobs on the ship. Cook or butcher, many ships don't have a dedicated cook, and the watches prepare their own meals. Gunner, there aren't actual cannons on a ship. This is handled by magic users, but whatever the title is, this guy manages the ship-to-ship fighting side of things and ranged weaponry of normal sailors, as well as weapon distribution, etc. Quartermaster often also is the helmsman, handles navigational checks. You have the purser, who handles money, cargo manifests. You have the midshipman, the most capable seafolk, actually higher ranked than an ordinary seaman. You have the able seaman, you know how to do shit on a boat, normal sailor. You have just seaman, a newbie, but a normal sailor. And then you have sorcerers, they are the weapons of the ship. Nice. I assume this is probably not in the order, right? I get the feeling like sorcerers would probably be a bit higher than like the sailors. I think I actually checked this thing against a thing called facts. All right. Got the horologist. There we go. What up, Stone Knife? How you doing? Yeah, probably be like midshipman. Yeah, it's probably like a mix, right? Probably not just the weapon. Yeah, for sure. And there also may be dedicated petty officers. Bosun's mate, surgeon's mate, captain's mate, first, second, third, etc. Yeah, nice. All right. And then let's see. Ugh. Sometimes ships would have others on board. For example, there are lots of ranks and positions in actual modern and historic naval fleets. I didn't include in this list, but to be honest, they would work better as roles rather than actual positions for simplicity. Yeah, 100%, right? Like, I think the thing is, like, you don't want to go too hard on like actual titles, because if it feels like if there's like 15 people whose title you need to like memorize, you feel like you're fucked, right? Yeah, exactly. So there are also likely rankings similar to Commodore, that take control of naval squadrons, overall political shit, but I think I leave that up to the individual country, and they don't necessarily form part of the individual ship's duties. More on this later. All right. Ship cat, the astrologer, the annoying. Yeah, exactly. Antagonist, etc. Yeah. Perfect. There are also likely ranking. Oh, sorry. Whoops. In the historic Royal Navy, especially, and in turn, especially in Dukan, all promotions on a ship are done very arbitrarily. If you wanted a high-ranking role or post, it was basically required that you have a patron you suck up to who would recommend you for a higher position. Perfect. And if you were disliked or didn't have anyone in a position of power who was fond of you, you were basically stuck as a normal sailor for life. In actual history, there was an exam for lieutenancy, which was the exception. Nice. Let's see. Historically, you needed to work at least 6 years as a midshipman to be eligible for lieutenancy or other officer positions. Yeah, suck it or take the exam. No, this is beef. Dukan's Navy entrance is 16, though historically it was 10 to 14. If we kept it accurate to history, this would mean that only old people would get seniority, and as life at sea is very dangerous, this is unlikely. Instead, I've pushed it down to take less time to account for the older entrance age, depending on rank, which would mean that individuals on a ship would only be made lieutenants at around 20 years old if they joined right at 16. A year as a regular seaman makes you an able seaman at 17. Then if you get promoted to a midshipman a year later at 18, 2 years later they can make lieutenant, and 20 at the earliest. Note that this is just the earliest. A lot of people were likely. Okay. All right, nice. Perfect. So, yeah, I like a lot of the idea. I like the, for sure, I like the idea that it's, that the ages are pushed down a little bit. Like, I think 16 is good. Mostly for almost like game reasons, right? Because I don't want anybody to play like a 16-year-old character, right? And yeah, I like the idea that not only like only old people would get seniority. So yeah, like I think it has a good range of like fast promoted, you know, yeah, kind of hilarious to think of sailors going, oh, don't listen to that crusty old timer, he's just bitter about not being promoted until he was in his 30s. Yeah. 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 Sorry, 1 second. We're all just part of Trill's psyche, different personalities. What the fuck? I gotta say that shit, dude. You're gonna drop me into a really contemplative state, you know, when I lock up. Nice. So, yeah, I like this a lot. Calling me out. Spell junkie. The more pathetic magic users. Jesus. What the fuck? The never-ending shade. Yeah. Nice. yeah, so I like the ideas. In like a long form. I feel like. I feel like the top. These are probably the ones you want to focus on in like a campaign, right? I think everything below this is like, oh, that's that person, but you never like get too many details about them, right? But yeah. Yeah, pretty consistent. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Just titled differently. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I like it. I like role division, the complex stuff. Nice. All right. Yeah, yeah. Looks good. Real nice. Cool. So I think then, let's see. If there's anything else. I kind of like it as is. I don't really know if there's anything I'd change about it, right? So I think we're all set there. And then this is kind of the actual ranking side of things, and then we'll get into like actually, let me do this. So I'm gonna actually copy this and add this. Just as for sure. Some more parts when I think you want to have more input on, but I don't think we can. Nice. Cool. Nice. All right. Very cool. But yeah, I like keeping this here because I definitely think that Dukan definitely had that attitude, right? Like, you find somebody who is going to help you along, or you're just kind of fucked in the position you're in. So, nice. All right. Yeah, just kind of expected, right? All right, so I'm gonna. Captain Slave Jesus. All right. So I have one, but I'll save it anyways. Perfect. Okay. Be like an intern. Especially poor families. Yeah, just for the opportunity, right? Like, just for the chance that, like, something will happen, and, you know, maybe just finally, right? We'll be able to lift ourselves up out of this mess. All right. So what I wanted to talk about today, so we have a number of central tensions in the setting, and I'm actually kind of, I'm trying to think of more that don't step on the toes of what we have, because I'm looking to fill out some locations, and I'm just now kind of starting on a couple of them with getting out the like major details of the conflicts at play. And so I wanted to write down what we have currently in the setting, and maybe like get what other people's impressions are of what the major regional central tensions, exactly. Yeah, so like what is it that makes, right, like, we know culturally, I guess, in a lot of ways, why Vogmeldir is different than, you know, Theneus or Dukan or the Three Princes area, but what is the draw of the central area, right? And so we have a few of them kind of fleshed out, and I have some ideas of what I think central tensions are in each of these regions, but I kind of want to get the impression of what other people may have as far as ideas go on the central tensions in certain locations, so I don't feel like I'm doubling up. So The first one, let's see. I guess the first and easiest one. So let's do heading. No, not Francisco and his wives. Jeez. So we have the Dukan central tension, right? So currently in Dukan, the central tension of the area, right, is going to be like currently we have various warlords, various warlords. Is there like a term for like a warlord state? Trying to think. Yeah, the remnants of the noble houses. Yeah. Like, what the fuck would that word be? It's not like feudal. I don't know. Let's say like warlords and military factions. Yeah, like military factions. That's probably like the main regional tension, right? Is the fact that there's a lot of factional focus, right? I guess like a sub central tension would be something like the fact that you know, like rebuilding Dukan is probably one that is coming at the very least. Yeah, and I guess like fracturing a region, right? I think those are like the big three, right? Wards and Warlord sounds like an Ekros soap opera. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Regional identity. Yeah. I don't know. Has the regional identity actually shifted a bit? I mean, I guess it has, because you've had this like city that was the greatest city in the area, but right, sure. Regional identity, let's see. So the main stuff is probably this all kind of plays into the same thing. The chat is on stream is really slow today. Is it? Compared to when it gets posted? Maybe the stream is just slow. Yeah, back. Yeah. Everybody wants to come out on top. Yeah. So let me think. Okay. So yeah, we have warlords and military factions. We've got the rebuilding of Dukan, if that's going to be a thing. Yeah, something that plays into regional identity is old centers of power maybe dying out with the fall, and new up-and-comers trying to fill that void. Exactly, and that kind of goes into like the warlords and military factions, right? So I would say, like, if there is like a true key central tension of the region, it is currently this, right? Like if we run a campaign in the Dukan region, it's gonna be this, right? I'm back. Random good news: my cat does not have cancer. I'm glad to hear. Nemo is cancer free, but the growth may reoccur. That sucks. But it's a common issue in male cats. They get these pale lesions, but they do not metastasize. Good shit. Yeah. Paw lesions. All right, cool. But yeah, so I think like the main, if I'm going to run a campaign in Dukan, a big focus is going to be like the warlords and the military factions at play, right? That's going to be like the big thing. And then everything else will kind of play in the background of it, but this is like the big focus of that like region, right? So it kind of like defines what you'll see when we play there. Okay. die to play another noble stuck around. Nice. Okay, so we've got Dukan. We've got... Alright, so that's Dukan. Vogmeldir. So, actually, I don't know if we have a genuine central tension for Vogmeldir. I don't think. I mean, I'm trying to use I'm in my mind palace, you know. But I don't think we've ever actually really, like, any of the campaigns that have been run there so far have actually been pretty in a vacuum, I guess. Oh yeah, refugee tension is probably a big one, or gonna be one. But yeah, we've never done like high chief stuff though. We've never done things like that. Yeah, but like what else? I guess we've got the like encroachment of like creatures encroaching, right? Wasn't that a thing we did? Like encroachment of, I don't know, like of wild creatures. That doesn't sound right. I don't know how the fuck I would even phrase this. Like, whatever. I'll just put encroachment. Yeah, the Thanaeus tensions in general. Yeah, more creatures coming down from the Dudas, exactly. So yeah, so I guess, I guess the idea of like what you would see if we played a game in Vogmeldir would probably be something along the lines of like, you'd see stuff like this. You'd see encroachment, you'd see refugee tension, and you'd see, we haven't introduced it just yet, but there's definitely like this, I guess better than Thanaeus tensions, we'll do something like, yeah, we'll do something like a, yeah. Oh yeah, increasing restlessness amongst the different warrior bands because of the fairly stable peace. Yeah, like maybe there's this push for war. So, how would we call that? Like, I want to say that Vogmeldir is like, is almost like Germany before World War I, right? Like, with like mentions of like, what is the word for it? Der Tag, right? Like, the idea that like soon we'll be at war, right? So we'll say like warmongering for sure. And I think that this is probably going to be the, so let me go back here. So we'll do warmongering. And I think this will probably be like the central overview thing. Yeah, like the idea that like Vogmeldir has been, I mean, you got to think, right, with Dukan fallen, like if Vogmeldir really wanted to push its sphere of influence, like now's the time, right? The only thing facing them to the south is what? Like we said, like broken up warlord and military factions, right? Like, so a completely unorganized and ununified army is to your south with like bandit warlords. Yeah. They might be worried they fight the Thanaeus for Dukan's land and resources. Yeah, so Vogmeldir is probably thinking, exactly, at the very least to take a territory that they probably consider their own, right? So like warmongering, like retaking Farum. Is that the name of the city? Farum? Or is that the name of a character? Farron was a character. Farum is a city. I'm not wrong about this, I think. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Yeah, let me actually just fucking open the map so I'm not wrong. But yeah, we got like Farum. Yeah, so like retaking the northern part at the very least of Dukan. Yeah, it's the one that Beanock is besieged in. Fair enough. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I like the idea that what's happening in Vogmodir is warmongering, right? Specifically, like, you know, and we'll write something here, like Dukan territory, and then we'll put like Thenaeus, right? So we got refugee tension and encroachment. All right, I think that's good. Next will be Thenaeus, which, Thenaeus basically has like a despot, right? Yeah, we must bring order to the land to prevent chaos, further chaos. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm trying to get into the mental thought of like what the High Chief might think, right? Yeah, Thenaeus don't want to expand. Yeah, but they're currently under the influence of a like a dictator, right? So I guess consolidate their power. Yeah, so like I guess if you were living under a dictator, what would you call it besides communism? So, and she only recently rose up. Yeah, a dictatorship. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so then I guess yeah, dictatorship would be the central tension, right? And basically a campaign here would either be like you're either with the dictatorship, right? So you're like a member of the you know, of the regime, or you're like, you know, people trying to fight back. So I guess we can say like what, like consolidation of power. We also established that maybe the knights sided with her and others didn't. Oh, nice, yeah. So like a power split, maybe? No, because it's not a power split. It's certainly in the case that she is in control. So. Yeah, I guess resistance versus regime. Yeah, that's actually probably a better, yeah, resistance versus regime. Yeah, that is probably the better way to phrase what the actual central tension of the region is, right? It's the regime versus the resistance. Yeah, the resistance started like, I think literally that same campaign, or at least following it. Chris did his all based on the martyr that was his character that was killed by Rose's character. That's what happened. Isaac, I think. So yeah, fledgling resistance in the city for sure. So what do we have here? So constellation power. Street agitation and Banksy stuff. Yeah. Yeah. The ones from the cheese campaign. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's Chris again, right? All right, so if we go with the resistance and versus the regime as the main, I guess like what would you put underneath that as like sub tensions within the region? I guess like Knights of Thenaeus is probably like a big one. Yeah, and like fear of, yeah, there's probably definitely like fear of outside. Actually no, we'll put like stabilizing the region. That'll probably be like a good one, right? So we got like Knights of Thenaeus, we got stabilizing the region, which is a big one. It also kind of plays back into resistance versus regime. And then dude, the motherfucking cheese guilds. I want a political intrigue campaign between the cheese guilds. Oh god. I think that's it. I think that's good. I think like Knights of the Naas stabilizing the region, but I think like this is the big thing. Yeah, I think it could be done really well. Yeah, but I think the cheese guilds is yeah, no. How would elves even view a dictatorship? My thoughts on it, yeah, is that they wouldn't care, right? Because for them, I think we, okay, so actually here's like a little bit of lore. I think we decided, or rather I think like maybe I decided that for the longest time, Thanaeus was essentially a dictatorship, right? Like a single leader led the whole, everything. We did that with, I guess like Thanea, right? And it was only after the mother died that the sisters became like a kind of like a consortium, I guess. And then from there, yeah, like a ruling council, and then we went back to this was just like a return to form for the region, right? A single daughter kind of taking the central place. High priority would be getting a lot of info from the surrounding areas, so it could also have like a spycraft game. Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's what we got to decide, right? Bring back the council. Chris, enlighten us. What is the resistance of Thanaeus aiming for? What is their ultimate goal? Just to kill the, you know, the Council of Daughters. Yeah, but the problem is that a number of them are already, they bit the dust, you know. They got wiped out. There's only 4. And I think 2 of them are basically like for like completely subservient, and then yeah, these are like the ancestor daughters, right? Yeah. It is a pushback to the more benevolent council ruling rather than despotic, autocratic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The daughters was the actual title. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of using them interchangeably. It was like the sisters, right? I think that's what we decided. Like, I think that's what the council was called. Okay, so I think that's good then. Knights of Thanaeus, stabilizing region, and then resistance versus, yeah. I'm thinking of the peasant scene with Arthur and the quest for the Holy Grail. Help, I'm being oppressed. Yeah. Oh yeah, like, so clamping down on the region, right? In an effort to stabilize it, right? It's like, there's this like overwhelming oppression, right? Or repression, right? Okay, does the regime also need to establish its legitimacy? No, I think where we left off with it is that it was like, it was done, right? It is still, yeah, she's got the secret police force. Yeah, we'll do like secret police. We'll put like, yeah, like police. In a hearts and minds sense. Yeah, there's probably that going on. So like propaganda, right? Yeah, she's already from the ruling line, and she already has the backing of the sisters. So I think actually what had happened and where we had decided was one of the sisters had been killed. The others have basically just like fallen in line behind the eldest sister. And so I think that was where we'd left off. So like, I think outwardly it is still presented as though it is a ruling council, but it's actually just a singular person who rules with the, you know, the public perception of being a council still. It's like a what would the term be? Like a, it's not a secret, but it's like, it's an open secret. Yeah. Really embrace the dictatorship. So maybe there's like a, just say she's put the rest under house arrest. Oh yeah. Optically it doesn't appear to be a dictatorship. Or well, I guess that's what Ram is saying. Ram is saying, don't even bother with the optical optical democracy. Just go like full dictator. Like, you know, now it is just like the single ruler, right? Yeah. I think it, like, both have their benefits and downsides. Okay. Yeah, the opening of the campaign, right? Going full dictator. That would be like, okay. Yeah, I guess that would be like the kind of buying into resistance versus regime. Dictators. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think we're good on Thenaeus. All right. I feel like we need to. I mean, I'm gonna put it. I'm just gonna call it Three Princes. Ethnic cleanse the city of gnomes and halflings. I'm gonna call it the Three Princes, but I actually think that we need to, or that I need to come up with a name for the whole south of Thenaeus. It's too big of a region to not have a regional name, right? The Tri-Agency. Bermuda Triangle, yeah. Because it's like Three Princes plus Visgrad. Avlar. Oh yeah, right. Avlar. What up? Yo, what up, dude? What up, dude? I was really liking the 1920s, you know? How you doing? So, enjoying. It's a way of making them canon in a setting, and he'll be on board with it. No, we're not doing genocide or ethnic cleansing, not yet. We've got a little bit to go there. How you doing? Yeah, dude, I like the 1920s stuff you're doing. CJ and them got a new monthly theme going on, so it's nice, real nice. Less so than the 30s. Not this time. Yeah. Not yet, but there's a chance. Yeah, welcome in. Yeah, so right now we're what I'm working on, I'm basically getting the central tensions of the setting that we currently play games and everything in. We are we're working on the central tensions in the regions, right? So like the various regions, what's going on in them, and what is kind of the like the main point of conflict within that region specifically, without the overlying central tension of the setting, which is something else, which is a whole lot more complex. But currently, just working on kind of putting a name or like a title on what is happening in the various regions. So like in Dukan, we've got warlords and military factions. In Valkmaldir, we got warmongering, looking for, taking a chance to, take over Dukan, which is a historical enemy, as well as Thenaeus, which is a historical enemy. It's a canoe with several different letters. Kaihira, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, so Thenaeus is a recent kind of autocratic, so we're working at like resistance versus regime. So the central tension with the area of Avlar, Rat Gang's back. Yeah, welcome back. Appreciate you all. Hope you all enjoy. So I guess the central tension of Avlar is what? Actually, we've got it here. Let's go all the way up. We got a whole lot of shit. This is celebrities. This is Grand Principality. We got the 3 principalities. Okay. So I guess like the central tension of Avlar is going to be where are we looking at? How to phrase this? Like 3 like city-states. Yeah, territory dispute, right? Territory dispute. That's like the central tension of the region, right? We've got the 3, each city-state vying for the chance at, ruling. Each of them has their own things. Yeah, rivalry for supremacy. Yeah, exactly. So we can have a rivalry for supremacy. Perfect. A sub one of Avlar is gonna probably be Visegrad, so I'm just gonna write like Visegrad and the rat problem, right? That's like a sub central tension. Visegrad is basically like its own place, but I don't think there's really a point to like separating it out, because it's basically in the region of Avlar, right? Yeah, Visegrad is part of the region for sure. Yeah. The floating crown in that, or have it separate. Yeah. Yeah, Visegrad is just a very well fleshed out city in a region, right? So like the city has its own central tension, which is the rat problem, right? But Visegrad itself kind of has some play with the territory dispute. Yeah, pressure from Dukan. Yeah, that'll be like its own thing. Discovery of Ailstone, exactly. That's like a good one. The floating crown is a ways to go. It's just off Calor, isn't it? Yeah. It's out there for sure. So yeah. Be a month or 2. Yeah, so we've got the territory dispute. This is like the main thing, right? If we run a campaign in the region, right? This is what's focused. Visegrad has its own thing, but it also interplays with the territory dispute and rival for supremacy, because one of the brothers essentially has their eyes on the city, right? In a sense. They like panic sailed west instead of east. Yeah. Jesus. Went all the way around the world. What are they going to discover? Well, no, just the discovery of Veilstone. So like the fact that Veilstone exists, that's the thing. Because Veilstone being like essentially the most squirty cheese. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, in the can. Chris told me he liked cold beans straight from the tin the other day. And he eats them with a fork. Yeah, they found Veilstone in one of the cities. Yeah, by the veil. Though that should be the that should be like Jesus Christ in the setting, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. It should be like by the veil. Yeah, like oh my god. Yeah, by the veil. That's a good one. Okay. I never wanted to use it in game. Dude, you should have, man. You should have. It's a fucking solid one. Yeah, by the veil. Yeah, finally accidentally suggested it. I think that's it for the region. I think these are big enough, right? Visgrad is basically like its own fucking... It's like we could do like a sub thing here, right? Where we go, you know, and then hit it with like, you know, the floating crown, right? The Vizargo, and then what else? Suck my veil. Jesus Christ. Oh, Solemn's balls. Yeah, Solemn's balls. Jesus. I guess like technically the rat problem would be here, right? So with this probably being the central tension of that everything kind of... So yeah, we'll do the rat problem. As the central tension of that little... But Visgrad itself kind of relies under everything else. Okay, I think that's good for Avalor then, right? I don't really want to... I don't think there's much more there. So, we've got Vrana, which is civil war. That is the central tension of the region. And then there's like necromantic... We'll just put like necromancy. We'll put what else is fucking something else? I'm trying to think. Eating solemns gives you carrot eyes. Jesus. What else was there? I think that's it. Actually, we haven't even done much of Vrana, so I'm just gonna leave it at Civil War, rather than doing anything too much other than there. Necrofancy. You wouldn't download a solemn. Oh shit. Alright. So, up next after this, where will we be? Let me check the... Alright. We've got Kalor, which central tension is the Hungering Star is the central tension of the region with... Yeah, Brevik is still unlocked. No, yeah. Vrana is its own thing too, so I want to come back to the ones that don't have a central tension currently, right? So those would be like the ones we touch on. I want to knock out the ones we kind of know what the central tension is, and then we come back to the things that I want to start to introduce the central tension of. Although I guess Brevik does kind of have a central tension with the dragon, right? Or the rumors of the dragon. So you're right. We can just throw that one like in between these. We'll do this. Here. Yeah. So we've got Brevik. We've got so in Brevik we've got the central tension is rumors of a dragon, right? That's the big one. Oh yeah, the Synedrium. Those the Synedrium, those are more in Francisco, those are more setting central tensions rather than like regional stuff. The Synedrium, even the Hungering Star in a sense, all of this stuff kind of goes back to a more yeah, the Green Flame, yeah. All of that is kind of almost more inter like looped with Calor. So Brevik has Rumors of a Dragon, Silvers and the Reds. Well, already have like the overarching stuff. Like I don't. This is more for like suggestions on central tensions rather than suggestions on overarching central tensions, right? Like more for regional. Whereas, yeah. Whereas like the overarching stuff is more like it's already kind of laid out. And I don't want to spoil it, I guess, right? I don't want to like put some names to it and then have it be like fucking, you know. Oh wait, that's what's happening, you know. But yeah, all of that stuff is kind of like overarching tension. Rumors of a Dragon, Silvers and the Reds, and then I think that's it. We'll do that with Brevik. Years down the line, a new resurgence. Yeah, so Calor currently has like the Hungering Star. It has like cult activity, right? That'll be like big stuff. And it probably has the Apparat. I thought, was Apparat Calor? Yeah, it was Calor, right? Kudin situation is sort of a big deal. Kudin is actually kind of based more in Vogmodir. He was just at Calor to make a deal, but Kudin's home place is Vogmodir. Yeah, he's not staying in Calor. Yeah, he was only there for a specific event, and then yeah, that's just because he's rich, you know. It's because he got the. That's because, you know, that's what happens when you're a setting wide player of sorts. He can be a sugar daddy. Yeah. Very well acquainted. So we got the Hungering Star in Calor, and we got cult activity. I think that's kind of oh yeah, like I guess Green Flame, and then Death Knight, right? He's Bell's sugar daddy. It's literally canon. It is, in a sense. All right. So we got Valdirus. Valdirus as a city has a central tension, but the region. Let me think. I don't know if we have like a genuine central tension for the region. I think we have like a tension in the city, but I don't think we have anything like, you know, what's going on in this whole region. The Pale Queen stuff. Oh yeah. Damn, dude. Solid on you for remembering. That also is kind of like overarching setting stuff, but it's, I appreciate you remembering. I appreciate the memory, dude. There's gonna be a Pale Queen 1-shot or a 4-shot, 4 to 6 shot, that I'll be recruiting for following this cycle of games, and it's gonna be fucking, it is insane. Damn, I'm trying to think. Does Valdir's have? Yeah, I guess like that's coming, right? So Escucho stuff is basically, what would you call it? Like I don't want to call it like Taliban. The new up and coming hotspot. Yeah, like it's soon to be most likely the Dukan of the setting, right? What Dukan was, Valdir's is in the best place to be. Growing power. Okay, yeah. I guess like I guess a better way it would be like religious revival. Yeah, the Valdiran erection, a frat party. What the fuck are you guys saying? The true frattery. No. So let's say like rising influence is probably like the biggest central tension of the region, right? When we get out of like, because specifically like the Monday campaign, like Valdiran Nights is basically just like a very highly focused story set within the sitting, right? Whereas we haven't really got like, you know, beyond that. The Pale Queen is, I guess, is something in the works. But yeah. Fuck, religious revival. It's definitely not religious revival because it is a holy war. It is a jihad, basically. What Escucho is gonna do in Valdirs is basically a jihad against Valdirs. So, but I don't want to call it that. Like, that's like a really bad choice of words. Zealot. It's fatwa. Yeah. That is a fatwa is like a legal ruling, right? It's not zealotry. Yeah, it's like a religious decree, right? I'm right. Yeah. I mean, I guess like terrorism is the way to go with it. Terrorism, like cult terrorism. Yeah, there's like, yeah, why is there no like non-specific words for what is essentially a jihad or like a holy war, right? Like, is there a synonym for this shit? Jeez. Insurgency. Ah, that's probably the word, right? Insurgency. Yep. That is most likely looking at the. An urgency is a violent armed rebellion by a small, lightly armed bands who practice guerrilla warfare from primarily rural base areas against a larger authority. Yeah, it's insurgency. Okay. That's probably the best word that stays away from any, like, you know, religious connotation or whatever. Appreciate it. Occult terror. That would have been a good one too. Like occult terrorism. Okay, nice. So yeah, the main thing in Valdirs is the rising influence and its state in the world, right? The card desert have been very quiet. Yeah. So I think Valdirs is settled. Then I think we move to suspiciously quiet. It's sulking. For sure. So it's mostly been because Karth Plague, yeah. Alright. Let's see. Heading 3. Yeah, so I guess what is the central tension of the Karth Desert? Currently, as written, it would basically be like tribal warfare. That is the current. I think, based on what we have, it's tribal warfare. A plague, you say? What up, Plague Doctorman? How you doing, dude? How you doing? Appreciate you. You were in CJ's chat earlier, I think, right? What up? It's rough, of course, and guess, yeah, here we go. Fucking Star Wars memes. Yeah. What up, dude? Yeah, I was hanging out in there too. 1920 stuff they were working on was very cool. Currently, what we're doing is talking about the central tensions in the region of, in the regions of the setting that I run games from, right? So like, kind of just figuring out what's going on in each location. Difficulty securing land. Or territory building. Yeah, I think I have to go back, make some nomads for the desert. I have to go back because a lot of this is actually John's stuff. So I'm kind of jump on top of that. So let's see. Tribal warfare. Yeah, because the tribes are very isolated. Not isolated, but different gods and different beliefs, like thinking that they have holy land and things like that. Yeah, we don't have gods in the setting, but yeah, stuff that's like, I mean, I guess that kind of goes into what the tribal warfare probably is, right? Like, we can probably come up with a number of things of why there's tribal warfare. Yeah. Attributing that to desert areas a bit too close to real world. Probably wouldn't. Yeah, I guess, yeah, especially like Holy Land and shit like that, right? Yeah, I don't want Karth to be a basically Israel, right? Like I'd prefer that. I think the way John wrote the tribes and clans is that they're more focused on building alliances for trade and stuff. Yeah, so it's like tribal, we'll say like tribal. Well, no, the Grand Military Fleet is definitely not the Karth Desert, right? That's Krasny. So the Karth Desert itself is really fucked up because there's the this is also stuff that Carl did as well. Carl did a lot of the world building for this area, and Escucho is basically based on like the same stuff. But yeah, we're doing Karth Desert, specifically the desert region. Yeah. So we have the Sea of Glass. We have the storm, the storm that is always kind of present, which makes things going on. So in there's tribal warfare and we'll say like tribal warfare and relations, I guess. We have the Sea of Glass. Let's see, in Canada we have people on skidoos that patrol the edges of the northern wastes, a snowy desert, to protect territory. Since we can't build out there, maybe we can do something like that. Yeah. Because what separates like Karth proper, I guess, like the Ilgrad, this area kind of like further to the north, is we have the Sea of Glass that separates the two, right? Leading up to not only we have the mountains of Karth, but also the Sea of Glass to the north. Any materials or trade routes in Karth? Yeah, there's probably a lot. The Karth Desert essentially is kind of like a location where there's a lot of yeah, fucking huge mountain range. Yeah, it stretches. The Sea of Glass has sand made out of glass. The Sea of Glass, the reason it's called that is because the storm essentially rages in that area the most, and the storm essentially, yeah, essentially like it does something. It like the storm is basically like a tornado of glass shards that just like rip you to pieces. And the ground of the Sea of Glass is, I think, like sand that has been struck into glass. Yeah, the tribes are specialized in the region. Yeah. By lightning, I think so. I mean, that's my assumption. I'd have to ask Jaunt, but Jaunt has been AFK for some time, so I have not heard word. Let's see. So bands of people from cities that do patrol stuff that are being interfered with. drag them back here. We want answers. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I mean, this, to me, the most important part is getting like the bolded one, right? For now, this is the more important for me, because I want to like just have this done. All of the like the little tensions that come up from specific campaigns or whatever is fine. The idea is I just want to have this in mind whenever I am creating the stuff below, right? So like the main theme and essence, right, of the Cart Desert is like tribal warfare and relations. There's definitely like a lot of, because we have the oasis, the two oasis in the Cart Desert. You have wadis and deltas there to fight over. Yeah, like specifically like the Nedo Oasis has like a huge amount of political shit. Madash is the place where all of the tribes meet up to figure their issues, right, to kind of settle. And I guess it's like almost like a bandit city, right? It is so close to the Sea of Storm, or the Storm. Yeah, it's like tribal UN. Yeah. Okay. So Sea of Glass, tribal warfare and relations. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good there. Exactly. Settle differences, arrange political marriages and trade, etc. Sorry, fucking got the hiccups. Okay, so we've got that settled. Up next is going to be Ilgrad, and here we genuinely have no current central tension, and I'm running through a few, trying to figure out some possible fun ones. So for instance, I like the idea of this area kind of having a like a Romance of the Three Kingdoms vibe going on. But I didn't know if that would be too similar to Avlor with the three brothers. Your idea of fun. So deadly dark. An insane despot in the area is eradicating green, but it's all forests and grasslands. Yeah. Because Ilgrad is essentially like orc Rome, right? Like the Roman Empire, but orcs. Like he likes his countryside like he likes his toast. Okay. Yeah, so there's a very yeah, there is an orc Caesar. Yes, yeah. Essentially, right? Yeah, that is absolutely what is the current lore, I guess, of Ilgrad that nobody really has any info on just yet. But yeah, there's this let's say world card. Let's see. Etu Brontug. Yeah. But yeah, so like the mountain that they are built on is the Hollowed Mountain, and built into that is the Honored Hall, right? The Honored Hall is an ever-growing temple dedicated to all great warriors and leaders of Ilgrad's past, never to be forgotten. The center of which lies Azok, the first orc. There's also the Wall of the Celebrated. So, whenever Ilgradian generals are what would the term be? Are successful in conquering, right? There's a parade of triumph, right? A conquering Ilgradian general will display the fallen body of the conquered general as they move through the streets towards the wall of the celebrated. All people of Ilgrad will honor the fallen general, and upon arrival to the wall, his head will be placed amongst other great enemies who have proven their worth in battle. To Ilgradians, the only shame in death is to be forgotten. So that's kind of like the central thing going on. What up, Asa? How you doing? How you doing? Glad to see you again. How you doing? So I had an idea for this region to kind of be going through a bit of like romance of the three kingdoms, because I like the idea that there are three already at war, whereas I guess the question is, does that seem too similar to Avlar with the three princes who are kind of, they're basically like angling though. There's not like all out war. They're not fighting or anything just yet. It's kind of like the preparations, whereas the idea with the Ilgrad being very, like, this has been underway for a long time. Like, if you come here, it's, you know, it's been going on forever. So you think it's different? Okay, nice. Yeah, then I guess I'm just gonna put like romance of the three kingdoms, analog. Because I've already gotten I've gotten a little bit of stuff written up for it. But yeah, I'm kind of working around that. And then, what are some like other general, central conflicts? Because I don't want everything to be like, oh, this is political intrigue in this area, and this is political intrigue in this area, and then this is political intrigue. Right? Like, I don't want it to be back to back to back to back to back, right? Right. We haven't had a siege. Yeah. Yeah, that could work. You know what? Occupation, right? Yeah, like occupation and siege. That could be like a central tension in a region. I wonder if we did that for like what? Yeah, we had a small siege. But like, what if the main point of that area was that this was going on? Like a foreign occupier force kind of going on? A sea jet. Yeah. Okay, so we'll say that Ilgrad is the romance of the three kingdoms analog. Yeah, occupation could work for Vogmaldir expanding into Ex Ducani. Yeah, maybe we can just add that up here, right? Like warmongering, and then like occupation, maybe. Although I guess that's more of like a Dukan thing, right? Like, that would be something you would face in Dukan. It's like occupation from VM, potentially. Okay, so we'll move forward with Ilgrad as the romance of the three kingdoms, with the three, the main faction and a few others essentially at war with each other, and have been for a long time. Yeah. The Dukan are doing a lot of that in townships already. Exactly. Okay. We need trade wars too as a central tension to a region, like completely trade wars. Like everything in the city is going fine, right? The city state as it is. I think, what if we had it that Ilgrad was Ekros Cold War, Cod War. They're fighting over the fish. Dragon could be a cool pirate hub for the main city-states with what's going on in the rest of the world. Veil fish, yeah. Oh, cod, it was a real thing. Okay, nice. Yeah, like foreign meddling, that's like a pretty central tension type of thing. Border disputes. What are some other, I'm trying to think, like just general speaking. Trade route control. Revolution stuff. I'm not really big on revolution just yet. I do like the idea of like a what is it? What would it be? Trying to think. Coups, yeah. Embargoes might be a bit too hard to enforce unless major naval factions. Trade blockades is a bit siege, but more sea-based. Rampant Rand franchise wouldn't stand for it. Oh yeah, expeditions into unknown territories for resources and stuff. Yeah, expeditionary companies and mining. That's basically what I made like the Ironmonger's table in Mitteland Cause. Basically be like an expeditionary mining conglomerate of wealthy families that kind of backed it, and then you had like the Ironmonger's table, you know, turn into that for the region with like Mitteland Cause and all that. So it's like, where do we put this stuff? So yeah, Flint and Gill could dip into that. Yeah. I guess Vrana could be like Virgon pirate activity. Could be another thing going. Yeah, I really like the idea of an occupation, but who is occupying who? I mean, I guess we got like a little bit of that. I guess it'll just end up being Vogmuldir's occupying Dukan, right? That'll probably, but I don't know, because the way Dukan is, right? Like, it's not really an occupation as much as it is just kind of like, you know, just taking land, right? Because there's nothing to go against that. Like, even the local population can't really do much of that. Like, if anything, the warlords are kind of like the occupiers more than anything. So, maybe some of this stuff isn't good for a central tension, like a regional tension. Yeah, like a genuine war, because we almost had that with Dukan versus Vogmuldir. And I think what is oh, you know what? Maybe that's Krasny. Maybe Krasny is invading somewhere else? Krasny is going after Helos? Yeah. That could be good. Okay. So then I guess let's add another heading 3. We'll do Krasny. Yeah, we got history there. So Krasny is... No, I think I think Krasny is going after Helos specifically, right? So if anything, they're probably like they made their, you know, they made their land assault. Okay. Say war with Helos. Yeah, we haven't been. Nobody's been. I haven't even been. Yeah, so Krasny's probably mostly focused on war with. Yeah, Garona. Also, Garona has connections to Valdirus, right? So, if it's in the influence of like the Valdiran influence, it's likely that, you know, Krasny going to Garona is a declaration of war against Valdirus, right? Yeah, a war arc and then an occupation arc. Yeah. What if we did like a double thing? What if we did Krasny and Ilgrad? Ilgrad has its own internal problems. But what if it was Ilgrad is essentially... Krasny is leading the attack by ocean. And then Ilgrad is leading the attack by... You know, like maybe Ilgrad is sieging... Yeah. Krasny provides the fleet and Ilgrad provides the infantry and siege artillery. Yeah, and like, it's like a pronged... I've got like World War II in my mind where like Ilgrad is the attack through the Ardennes, and Krasny is the the blitzkrieg through I guess it would be opposite, right? Krasny is like the attack through the Ardennes, and Ilgrad is the kind of false. Yeah. Oh yeah. Almus is pissed off Ilgrad, and they're sieging it with the assistance, right? Okay, perfect. I think we've got it. So we'll do Almus. And Almus is sieged, right? Or I guess what we would put here is actually like under siege, right? Under siege. Krasny is at war with Helos, and then final would be like heading 3. Helos is sorry. Like war with Krasny. Just kind of double up on these things. Let's say under siege by Ilgrad. Because I like the idea that Ilgrad has its own internal problems in a Romance of the Three Kingdoms type of way. But despite these problems, Ilgrad is still powerful enough to, you know, take a city-state in the mountains under siege, right? I like that idea. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's exactly why they're doing it, right? Ilgrad is probably... Ilgrad is probably militarily I get the idea that Ilgrad on like on a land war hmm. Sorry. Yeah, probably good at mountain warfare. Yeah. Jumping war goats. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea that Ilgrad in like a traditional war is probably better than let me think. Let's see. All right, so Ilgrad. Yeah, regimented opening, not used to narrow ravines and passes. Yeah. Yeah, I still think that they are like number one when it comes to like typical fighting. Yeah, almost. I think I have to switch up some lore stuff. Okay. Yeah, so is Krasny doing more of the same? Let's have a war. Yeah. I want to avoid, I guess, that feeling, right? So like within Ilgrad, we've got Romance of the Three Kingdoms analog stuff. Krasny is focused on war with Helos, but also controlling the Karth Desert, even if it's from like an outside point of view. Yeah. Yeah, probably very suited for surviving a siege. Yeah. Almas is under siege by Ilgrad, right? But can Ilgrad's generals sell a long siege? I think based on the mentality of Ilgrad, they can sell any kind of siege. Yeah, Krasny shutting down the Bay of Sharam, right? Let's say Bay of Sharam. Or Sharam Bay, I don't know what you're gonna call it. Under siege by Ilgrad. What if instead of under siege, Harambe was the gorilla, but yeah. Sharambe. What if instead of being under siege, they've been occupied? Like Ilgrad is already swept through, right? Has already swept through and is en route towards Helos, right? the specific resources in Helos that Krasny wants, I don't know if it's resources. I mean, other than land resources. I think we had like, let me go up. We've got it here. Let's see. We did histories. So I think we're gonna kind of base it off of that. We got the Siege of Ilgrad. We got the Song of Vengeance. We've got the songs. That's a lot. Let's see. What's this? The Apparat. The Krasny Flotilla. Yeah. And then the sacking of Krasny. What if... let's see. Struggled under predation of hard times that were demanded on the side. It was Garona that struggled the most. Directly through... Okay. Where was it? Was it the sinking of the flotilla? Where Krasny's ruling house looked to yeah, the Spanish Armada parallel, where they looked to take over Helos and then yeah. Okay. Yeah, so revenge for the Krasny Flotilla. Force a political marriage. Yeah, much in the way of like forcing the political marriage that they would get the upper end on, right? Like eventually, you know, the Krasny royal family would have control over Helos. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's like war with Helos, and the idea here is like revenge, or maybe they just like like a historical rivalry. I don't know. Man, I don't know. This was the issue with the central tension stuff, because I didn't want to. Yeah, maybe there's no war here. I'm gonna kind of remove that because I didn't want it to be too similar, right? Like if Vogmodir is warmongering and thinking about going to Thenaeus, right? I don't want a similar experience. I don't want it to be like, oh, what's happening here is literally just Vogmodir and Thenaeus, right? So I think maybe the central tension here is controlling the Karth Desert, right? Through the Bay of Sharam, and then like influencing the tribes. Because if anything, Krasny has like probably like a bigger bone to pick with Garona, right? Based on the world, the stuff we've got, right? Yeah, so I think Ilgrad has the romance of the Three Kingdoms stuff going on. Almus is occupied by Ilgrad, like Ilgrad has just kind of knocked the door with him. And then Helos, I would, Yeah. Paraphrasing. Yeah. We'll say Almus is occupied. Because to be honest, we're probably not going to be seeing this location for a long time. Like, I just have no interest with it. Originally, I don't even think it was a place. Yeah. Yeah, the whole of Ekros doesn't need to be in chaos. It can be stable areas, but outside forces are seeking to destabilize as an unknown to officials plot that can be discovered. Oh, so like a foreign interference, right? Like that would be like we could just say it's like foreign interference, right? And that's like the central tension that'll eventually be founded upon, right? But it's not something that is known currently, right? In the current sphere of things. I think that works. fucking hiccups. Yeah, Russia are petting the ballot boxes. Yeah. Okay, that could work. Yeah, boo. Nothing is happening, Solarius. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, my idea is that mostly the idea of like yeah, did it make I go, yeah, you scared me, dude. It certainly wasn't the water. It was definitely you saying boo. I thought you were booing like boo. I didn't know you were going like boo, like scare. I read that wrong. So, all right, perfect. Yeah, gnome feet. Oh my god, dude, you're scaring me. Okay, I think we've got it then. Yeah, I think Kilos. The reason, sorry, so the reason I was thinking of like so many things going on, you know, I'm actually gonna go back to Dukan, and I'm gonna add. I want there to be like a like War of the Roses analog going on, and the floating crown being one half of that, while the re-emergence of the Dukan royal family potentially being the other half of that. Who's going to be recruiting Tova into that? Yeah, Tova. Dude, that character's great. The wards? No, the wards are not the royal family. Dude, Tova's great. It's a great guy. Okay. I think we're settled then. Dukan has the warlords and military factions. It's an opportunity to turn the wards into the villains. Oh, no shit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, shit. Maybe the wards. Maybe the Ward family has gone back to Dukan. You know, the patriarch of the Ward family. Cass's father has returned to Dukan to help rebuild, because that is what he did the first time it was destroyed. And maybe the people have circled around. Oh yeah, grandfather. They've circled around the Ward family, right? As they look to rebuild Dukan. Yeah. It would be kind of funny. Like Ward family. Like Ward family taking charge in the rebuild of Dukan, which leads to tensions with the Ward uprising. Oh shit. Dude, I think that I'm actually starting to like the idea of like the Ward family just ensuring that they've got all the, you know, the others, like the sister, all the fucking kids, right? And have the Ward family rebuilding Dukan and, you know, getting a lot of the what the fuck is the name of the fuck, man? Yeah, let's do it then. Let's do it. Let's do, like, the Ward family is gaining the the respect and like love of the citizens for rebuilding Dukan, right? Those who have been left, who have stayed behind. All right. Yeah, elevating their position with action. Yeah. Okay. No. No, but I do like the idea that they start to that they return to Dukan to rebuild, and they start getting like the love of the locals, but the merchants and all the remaining houses are still gonna back the floating crown. Yeah, so I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Because then we can start killing ward family members, you know, in like the war of the Roses. We can start having them be like central figures that start to, you know, start to get wiped out. We can start cleansing the setting of their stink as the Reynolds look to fight back. Dude, it's in. I'm sorry, Milk. It's gonna be very tough the coming months, but I think this is what we have to do. And I'm taking all your names. So so then I guess, Milk, you should let me know who in the Ward family is like, if the Ward family were to be the new royal family, like who is placed where? You know, who's the leader? Who's nobody's off limits. You can't. There are no off limits. Not when the family is at war, right? But what about Basa? How you doing? How you doing? Hello again. Yeah, killing Val off screen. Yep. Whoops. Aurelius is top dog. There we go. All right, Aurelius Ward. Dude, I think Ram is gonna love it. Ram is gonna love it, especially because it's War of the Roses, right? Or Wars of the Roses, right? I guess like who is who, right? Is I think the House of Lancaster is probably the Reynolds, and I think the House of York is probably the Wards. Yeah, I think that's the case. Nice. All right, cool. All right. Well, then we got the central stuff figured out. Yeah, Death Knight Tibia is. Oh yeah, the Dark Secret. Oh no shit, right? Yeah. I wonder. I don't know. Would Tiberius Ward care about the Ward family being in charge of Dukan? Would Death Knight Tiberius Ward be like a big thing? Like keep it under wraps. Well, I think like would Tiberius assist them? Yeah, he did it to save his family name. Yeah, so I think like Tiberius is, I mean, like as much as we meme about it, right? Tiberius is He's a Death Knight by choice, and it's like it's not a it wasn't like a need. It was like a bittersweet sort of decision, right? Like Tiberius sees the ward name falling, and is looking to reestablish that. What up? I can read it. Jacob Lad. I think it's Jacob Lad. Jacob Lad 15. What up, dude? What up? How you feeling? We're just going over central tensions in the setting, stuff like that. Call me Jacob or Jay for short. What's up? What's up? I saw you in CJ chat, I believe, right? Earlier they were doing some the 1920s stuff for the new Elysium, I believe. Yeah, the Reynolds would get an advantage. Huh. Yeah, Milk, because you're the progenitor of the Ward family line. Yeah, I guess if you could let me know. Yeah, but we will act at all costs. No sacrifice too small. Collateral damage is fine. Yeah, like, what up, Jay? How you doing? How you doing? So what we're doing, just kind of hanging out. We're going over central tensions of the various regions in the setting that I run games in. The setting that the Discord is all about. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Let me know, like who do you think would take like a central position in all of this? I don't know, like, I'll send you messages when I have a better question to ask you, right? Because as of this moment, I don't really have it locked in mentally, because we're just kind of like stumbling upon it. Yeah, Milk, get the free senpai. Yeah, and then if you like it, you know, $20 a month at the Patreon, you know, we could do it once a month, no problem. So, nah, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, just what I've always wanted. Yeah. It's a free trial. Yeah. We can jump on voice. Maybe I'll stick around tomorrow and we can talk about it after the game. Yeah. It's a sneak peek, right? Free trial. You know, don't you want more of this in your life? That'll be like the selling point of it. And then he jacks up the price. Yeah, a little tease. Yeah, a little. Never actually played D&D. No shit, dude. Yeah, we focus more on Pathfinder 2nd edition over here. Although, yeah, like Milk says, it's definitely a recent switch. So I'm very, I would say very knowledgeable about 5th edition and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just trying to get the DM to crease up, laugh, and groaning in disgust. Yeah, but yeah, so very very familiar with D&D, like 5e and all that shit. It's cool, right? But yeah, we focus more on Pathfinder because of recent happenings and just in general. I personally think it's a better system, but again, personal opinion. Doesn't really matter, right? You like what you like. The goal of each session is to make it. It's yeah, it can break the most. All right. Don wins for creating genuine disgust. Yeah. Ate a bug and I was like, what? All right. So, with that, I think we're solid. I just want to go through them to make sure I'm not missing anything. So Dukan has the warlords and military factions. With coming up being the rebuilding of Dukan, they're gonna make Dukan great again. Oh man, the Ward family is gonna make Dukan great again. Oh no, Aurelius is. I'm gonna make it so that Aurelius is a fucking Trump analog. The Ward family taking charge, fracturing of the region, right? That's still a big thing. Regional identity, and then the occupation from Vogmeldir, which is to come as well. Vogmeldir currently has warmongering, as they are looking to take territory from their old rivals, Dukan, as well as eyeing the current situation in Thenaeus, as well as dealing with the refugee tension created cycles past from Dukan. Modga, yeah. As well as encroachment from the mountains. Encroachment. We'll say mountain encroachment. Mountain encroachment. There we go. So we've got that done. Thenaeus is currently dealing with resistance versus regime in the city-state. The Knights of Thenaeus, which are magical beings, maybe we'll say split on support. We've got them stabilizing the region with their secret police and propaganda. Very cool. Avlar is a territory dispute and a rival for supremacy between three brothers. It has not yet broken out into war, although if we do a campaign there, that's likely to be something happening. I like to think New Dukan features a lot of street side grilled food places for sure. Very, very food cart heavy. Avlar also features Vizgrad, which could be its own thing, whose central tension is the rat problem, as well as dealings with the floating crown and Vizargo, as well as a discovery of Veilstone in the region, right? Bringing in a lot of focus. Brevik has the rumors of a dragon and the silvers and the reds happening in the city-state of Brevik. Vrana has the civil war with let's say an increase of Vergon pirate activity, somehow able to hold off against Vrana and the solemn Corbiano. We've got Calor, which is the hungering star. It's kind of funny. Calor is a couple of letters away from being calorie, and the hungering star. I just recognize that right now. But we've got cult activity in the region, the Green Flame, as well as the Death Knight. Although Death Knight and the Green Flame are connected, so let's just go ahead and remove that. Valdirus, we have the rising influence of Valdirus. We have Insurgency coming soon, and then we have the Pale Queen. In the Karth Desert, we have Tribal Warfare and Relations, as well as the Sea of Glass. Ilgrad, we have a Romance of the Three Kingdoms analog going on, which I have some stuff going on with. Krasny, we have controlling the Karth Desert and the Bay of Sharam, influencing the tribes of the Karth Desert as well. Almas is occupied by Ilgrad, and Helos is dealing with some foreign interference. Nice. Okay. I think then that the best place, I think this is a good place to call it for now. And to, yeah, I think we've had a pretty good world building session, just kind of hanging out, chilling, you know, relaxing. Appreciate all the new faces, everybody who kind of came over from CJ's raid. Big shout out to CJ. Definitely been showing a lot of love with the raids lately, which is definitely appreciated. Always sucks that it seems like I think it's because time zones, really, we stream at different times, which always kind of I never can repay the favor back. But any case, thank you all from CJ Said who have kind of come over, followed and hung out. It's been a blast. If any of you would like to get involved with the community itself, the best place to be, or the community itself, is the Discord. So if you're interested in, you know, presenting ideas, throwing in some ideas during the world building, yeah, so best place to be is the Discord. Sorry, I got strung up by some side messages, but yeah, best place to be is in the Discord. If you'd like to get involved, we have a weekly world building thread where everybody is able to kind of pitch their ideas, and then we go over them every week, seeing, like, you know, what fits, what works, etc., etc. Stop reading. Oh, you DM me? Yeah. Yeah, best place to be is the Discord. If you'd like to get involved with the community itself. If not, it's all good. In any case, thank you all for hanging out. Nice to see you. Appreciate it. Had a good time. We'll be back tomorrow to continue with the 6th session of our Wednesday campaign, Into the Red. So can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see. I think it's the 6th. It's definitely the 6th. We're at number 6. So, but yeah, we'll be back for that on Wednesday. If you're not interested in checking out campaigns and shit like that, which, you know, could be whatever. Then we'll be back on Friday for the more serious world building stream, I guess you can call it. Although very rarely is it more serious. It's just, you know, a bit more focused. But yeah, hope you thank you all for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And maybe we'll see you when we see you. If not, it's all good. So hope you have a good one. Peace out. Later.